Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a 178-piece stainless steel limited edition launched for the 2023 model year. This is the Louis Erard Konstantin Chaykin Time Eater, a watch that is a collaboration between the two names on the dial. Now, in the past, Louis Erard has worked with artists such as Alain Silberstein and Vianney Halter, and collectors like William Messena. Well, Konstantin Chaykin of Russia brings his celebrated wristmons or wrist monsters aesthetic to the Louis Erard collection, and that's what we have right here. Now, there are two versions of this watch, one with a green chapter ring around the dial and one with a purple. The purple, also made in 178 pieces, is 39 millimeters. The green that you see right here is 42 millimeters, and 28 examples of each will be sold as matching serial pairs. Now that you've got the rundown on the series, let's talk about the watch. So it's 42 millimeters in diameter in steel, 12.4 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip. It's fairly broad at 49.2 millimeters with a nice stanced modern 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see it wears nicely. I could wear either one. I believe that this watch is suitable for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. If your wrist is smaller than that, you're going to want to go with the 39 millimeter. But you can see I have plenty of clearance on both sides of my wrist. The lugs are nowhere near overhanging, and even over the top, which exaggerates the narrowness of my wrist and the breadth of the watch. You can still see that the lugs are inboard. Taking a look at the cuff shot, this is not a super thin watch, but at 12.4 millimeters with a domed bezel, yeah, it will actually fit underneath most dress cuffs. Here's a first for me. Can you guess what this is made of? If you guessed toad, you are correct. This is toad leather. Thick cut, black, glossy, contrasting bound, toad leather. On the bottom, it's conventional calfskin. You can see this is a stock factory strap in brand new condition. We have that contrasting binding stitch all the way across, including the strap minders. And then we have a branded steel pin buckle. You can see in profile, it's got a nice teardrop kind of tuck to it, and then the lugs have the same arcing profile, so you can see design parallelism there. A sharp break between lug and case band. Everything here is in high polish. We have sort of negative tumble home where the watch is widest at the bezel and then it breaks away and thins down towards the case back. We have the Chaykin logo in media blast on the crown. The crown is both media blasted and polished, and then a box section sapphire on the top. Here we have the wrist monster. And because Konstantin Chaykin is Russian, and many of his watches often carry culturally Russian or Slavic meaning, this is actually based on the Liko, which is a sort of folklore boogeyman from Slavic fairy tales. And I have to say, that's a pretty scary one-eyed monster. The actual Liko looks more like a wizened old woman with black hair and a single eye, so not all that different from Baba Yaga. But this is the inspiration for the fearsome face that you're looking at right now. The watch has a combination of colors and textures and changes of plane. You can see that the hour track, which incorporates the eye and the pupil, it has a nickel anthracite surfacing. So for example, now you're looking at 2:15. And now you're looking at 3 o'clock on the nose. It's a regulator too, because you have your hours, minutes, and seconds. There is a stepped track outboard, a Rayhot or chapter ring in green. The Rayhot gives way to a wonderful explosive, I would call it almost a rayon style of texturing in silver and gray. And then we have that little monster mouth with the teeth. That's acting as your operation indicator or your seconds. Turn it all over. It's a Sellita SW266 with Konstantin Chaykin's own module on the top. So based on the ETA 2824 architecture, you can see those signature twin reversing wheels. Bidirectional automatic winding. It's got a 38-hour power reserve, a 4 hertz beat rate, and it's delivered in a Labore, or basically a mid-level finish from Sellita. Now you can see that this is a 50-meter water-resistant watch. Although, with only a push-down crown, I don't recommend it for surface swimming. That said, the Wristmon, since the debut of the series with the Joker in 2017, has been one of the most distinctive and memorable series of watches from any independent watchmaker, and this is a great way to continue the series on a somewhat more stripped-down watch with Louis Erard, which is creating a wonderful reputation for value and distinctive limited editions and collaborations. So reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.